Cinema.
Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Cregger, local metalhead, and with me is...
Part of the collector.
And we're
What's going on?
doing your fucking movie, Miss March.
Yeah, man, I'm already feeling a little heat off of you.
Why do you own this movie?
Why do I own it? Because it was $1, dog. Why not own
You
it?
paid too much.
I might have got it for 50 cents.
He should have gave you $1 to take this movie off his hands.
Yeah, man, I told you going in that this was not a movie you're going to learn a life lesson from. I
didn't
told
learn.
you, have fun with it, get drunk, and watch this movie.
I would have had fun with it if there was fun to be had.
There are some funny parts in this movie, bro.
No, there's not.
I think you're being a little too harsh.
So, the actors, directors, writers are
The
all
whitest kids you know.
are the same people. Zach Cregger and Trevor Moore.
I think those guys are funny.
And they used to do that skit, which I actually, after this, I looked up Whitest Kids in the Room skits, and they're kind of funny. They're not my brand of humor, but
Yeah. Some of them are good. Some of them could be yeah.
But that's the thing. I think they should stick to skits instead of doing a whole movie, because this movie
That's really what the movie was just a
sucked.
bunch of skits thrown together.
Sucks so bad. It's like they didn't even bother with a story.
It's a very, very
I'm gonna give
simple
you
plot.
a very, very simple synopsis of this movie.
It's a simple synopsis anyways.
I know, but I don't want to go through the whole fucking thing.
You don't want to go through horse dick, dot and peg?
there's a fun fact.
Yeah,
with
you were
that.
telling me that. Yeah.
These two friends, they find a Playboy when they're younger. One becomes obsessed with Playboy. The other
and,
one's like,
Hugh Hefner too.
yeah, abstinence. Like, he doesn't want to have sex. They grow up. The kid that doesn't want to have sex decides he wants to lose his virginity on prom night, gets too drunk, falls down a flight of stairs, has a coma for 4 years. His friend wakes him up with a bat on the forehead, which is fucking stupid.
Hilarious.
And
The guy from Reno 911, I forget his name, but he played the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
And later on in the movie, he hits him and she's like, I'm telling you, I've seen this work before. He's like, I'm going to do it again. Don't do it again.
So they decide to. He finds out that the girl he was gonna have sex with on prom night
It's Miss March.
Is Miss March,
Playboy model.
Playboy. So his friend breaks him out of the hospital. They go on a road trip to the Playboy mansion, and
Hilarious hijinks ensues.
Him and her rekindle their love for each other and happily ever after, whatever. So that's the movie. All right, thanks for listening to War with Cinema.
Oh, it's that. Yeah. Come on. There are hilarious parts in this movie, man.
No, there's not. I'll just throw out some fun facts. There was going to be a stand-in character for Hugh Hefner, but it didn't vibe with the movie, so they just on a whim sent the movie a rough draft to Hugh Hefner, and he liked it so much he wanted to be a part of it. So that's how they got
The
him.
movie's not that bad, bro.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead, so
Hugh Hefner was that guy, bro. If he signed off on it, that shit is go. That shit is a go.
another fun fact: horsedick.mpeg. This came out in 2009. I thought they just thought it was funny, like if somebody typed into Google or whatever horsedick.mpeg, horse dick video would come up. But no, there's actually another layer to that. There was a video circulating around that time about the guy getting fucked by a horse. Yeah. And it was kind of like all over the internet. And he eventually died from having sex with a horse. And that's where that comes from.
Is the actual clip of him dying from it?
No.
Oh.
It's just a video clip of him getting railed by a horse. And then later on, like he obviously it's something he does in his free time and eventually died from it.
Gotcha.
So that's where that came
Bestiality
from.
a little too far, huh?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of dark, dog.
It's dark as
For a
fuck.
comedy, for a slapsticky, stupid ass comedy like this,
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know, man. I like I said, there's shit in that movie that I find hilarious. Like when he wakes up from the coma and he's like, don't strain too much, bro. He's like, your muscles are in atrophy, and he keeps shitting himself. It was fucking great. Like I thought that was
That's pretty much the
child of me, bro. Thought that was hilarious.
I was gonna say that's pretty much the base the overarching theme of this movie. He keeps shitting himself. That's pretty much this whole movie.
It was great. I thought it was hilarious because they timed it pretty good. They
Another fun fact. So the girl, whenever she's talking about like having a baby or whatever, like I don't want to have a crackhead baby. Did you notice her lines being overdubbed. Like what she's saying doesn't match up with her lips.
And because she smoked cigarettes, the baby came out a crackhead.
Oh, what'd she say?
Retard.
Wow.
In the original clip of the movie, they said retard, but they didn't want the controversy or the blowback, so they redubbed it with crackhead.
Well, the guy that does Tucker, man, he does like the most outlandish shit. Anyways, like when they used to do that show, all his shit is extreme. Like he's gonna go for the worst possible thing you could say to somebody and shit. Like
I thought that was a bitch move, kind of though. Like you should have just taken it on the chin.
that is weird that that's where they drew the line because there's a lot of shit in this movie that people would find offensive.
He actually says it at the end of the movie too. He says something else, but I noticed that it was overdubbed, and he says retard there too.
Wow.
So
I guess maybe those people, their lawyers are a little meaner than the lesbian and gay community.
Your movie's not getting released if
Bro,
you don't cut out.
Since you've pretty much given your synopsis on it anyways, and like I said, the plot's not like super thing. You gave
No, it's just a road trip movie.
Right. You can't tell me that shit with the two lesbians, bro. He's like, shit never works out for us. And then a car, badass fucking Challenger pulls up with two badass bitches in it. And they're like, and they're also European, so it's even hotter. And
I think
like,
they're Russian.
yeah, they're like, we're going to fuck the whole way.
Yeah, we just want to fuck, and you guys can drive.
And then he fucking wrecks the car. That shit was great, dude. Is this going to be a problem? No problem. He does it like 3 times. It's great. Like I thought that was hilarious. Because they're like really going at it. Like,
in another movie, that scene probably would have been funny, but in this one, it just annoyed me.
really?
Yeah, because I thought this is kind of
You didn't think Craig Robinson was funny at all? I thought he did.
I was thinking about that. And I'm like, damn, how did Craig Robinson like end up in a movie like this? But this is 2009. He's on his
way up. Yeah, he was saying yes to everything.
Right. So I had to remind myself like this is old Craig Robinson. Like he wasn't good in the movie. Like he didn't have a lot of lines, but
I thought when he was in it,
when he delivered his lines, they were funny because I just like him.
Like when they're in the limo. You stupid. It was just fucking.
I'm not saying I like him, but
what's up, Phil? Horse dick, Dottie and Peg. My bad, horse dick, Dottie and Peg. Just makes him say it over. I didn't know they'd still let you go to prom, man. You know, since you dropped out and everything like 4 years ago. He's like, Tiffany still goes to the school. He's like, also didn't know they let freshmen go to prom. Like, I don't know. It's just a little delivery.
Another thing that I noticed that kind of annoyed me is the main guy with the black hair. I don't remember his name. Tucker. You notice his little getup? What is he wearing throughout
Hawaiian
the whole film?
Shirts.
With like a wife beater under it.
Yeah.
Well, his little mannerisms kind of reminded me of Jim Carrey, especially from like The Pet Detective.
I think I've heard people say that about him too, though.
What?
That the way he acts and stuff, it is like early Jim Carrey. Like he tries.
If you
to
take
be
early Jim Carrey and Chris Farley and kind of like meld them together, that's what I feel like this guy's going after. Because he had a couple of Chris Farley lines that are ways that he delivered was really reminded me of Chris Farley.
Well, because when they do all those skits for that show, like he's the same exact guy, and like he is Tucker and everything.
Oh yeah,
like that's the only.
Oh, so he doesn't have range. He's very
that's all he's got is just stupid ass. Like I'm better than you, but I don't act like I know that I know I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Whatever he's going for there, but it's funny. But like you said, to a certain extent.
But what I was going to say is after this movie, I was so like wanting to watch The Pet Detective. I was like, fine, whatever, we own it. So I put it on. Guess what Jim Carrey is wearing throughout that whole movie? Fucking Hawaiian shirt and a wife beater. I'm like, you're really just taking it? Like, just going to lift it off. Like, nobody's going to notice.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't dawn on me until I watched that. I was like, fuck you, man.
I thought they would have him in robes more. Like, for some reason, I saw him more of as a robe guy because he's like trying to be like you. You know, that's the whole thing about the movie is like he wants to be like you.
They touched on that a little bit. Like when they went to the hotel, he found some robes and he taught him like Playboy Mansion etiquette because he's been there. Like, fuck you.
No, it's just because he's like, I've read every issue of Playboy for the last however long years since they found the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it's not supposed to be, I don't know. You're just supposed to have fun with it, I think.
But the thing is, like, the jokes are so like stupid. Like there's this one where he's holding a dog and the dog pisses in this girl's drink and she drinks it and she's like, man, that was really good, give me another. She drinks it, she's like, oh, this isn't as good because it's a regular glass of champagne, it's not the dog piss. She's like, go get me another glass of that good shit.
Oh yeah.
It's just stupid shit like that.
Oh, dude, or when they're on the tour bus, bro, and the fucking chick's getting ready to fuck him, and she bounces out the window.
That part annoyed me because
tour buses don't have windows like that.
Well, not only that, but he doesn't do anything. He's just
kinda
like, oh shit, and then goes lays down. Like, why wouldn't you say something like, hey, the girl just flew out the window. My bad. Like, we should probably stop so we can get her, not just ignore it.
You're traffic and shit, bro. He thought she was dead. There was nothing to go back for. She was just a random groupie. He didn't give a fuck.
It's just the
fact. You could definitely tell this guy was a terrible person. Like, he didn't give no fucks. This entire movie.
It would have been funnier if he would have went out and be like, hey, she kind of flew out the window, and Craig Robinson's like, fuck that bitch.
Nah, that would have been good. They could have used that. And of course, he comes out of the back, and Craig Robinson's supposed to be like a gangster rapper. He's like laying on his side with a pillow underneath him, talking to the other guy.
Yeah. She
hurt me. She hurt me deep, man. And that's why, ever since I've been a dog, you know what I'm saying? I've been a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was good. And, when he's asking about all the Playboy models, and he's like, you didn't fuck Miss March, though, right? And he's like, man, she was all over my dick. Because, like, he sees us bothering him, and he's like, man, she was all over my dick like a Japanese guy in a hot dog eating competition. Like, that shit was funny.
This actually cost more to make than Sorry to Bother You.
Really?
$6 million.
Damn. Oh, they gave that money to Hugh. That's
pretty
what that
much,
was.
yeah,
that's
I
what
think
that was.
So, too. It only made, like, $4.5 million.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have thought this movie would have had like a real theatrical release because it is such like a R rating. It's like I have the uncut,
Yeah.
And I just assumed that's how they made the motherfucker. But I thought the old girl was funny though, man, with the epileptic, with that shit.
Oh, the epilepsy. So, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So, he decides he's gonna get a blowjob from his girlfriend that has epilepsy, and this stupid motherfucker is like, oh, strobe lights are fun. Turns on a strobe light, and she chomps down on his dick, and she they actually have a scene where he's running back and forth trying to get her off, and she's like attached to his dick. And to get her off, he stabs her in the face with a fork. But the thing is, when you see her face is like mutilated. Like, how many times did he stab her? Like,
it shows him doing like this. Like, he's like, and I stabbed her in the face. He does that Jim Carrey face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, man, this movie has funny shit in it, man.
I guess I'm not the target audience.
Yeah, I guess not.
Because I fucking hated this movie.
I can see that. But that's also why I give you these, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get out of that box, dog.
It's not. This movie is not going to help me get out of my box.
You gotta get out of that artistic serial killer revenge box that you just live in, man. Like, who hurt you, bro? Love these stupid ass movies I give you sometimes. So that's okay.
Just for this one, I know what I'm going to give you next.
Yeah.
I was gonna give you like Murder Party.
You're gonna give me the fucking. You're gonna give me the
Synecdoche, New York.
Damn it! I can't even say the fucking title of that shit. Like, I knew you were gonna do that shit too, man. Because the other two, I was like, I could get through them. Like this one.
Nah, Synecdoche is gonna be like, you're gonna take parts. You're gonna like, I can't do it. Like, finish it all in one go.
Don't say things like that, dude. Oh.
I love Synecdoche, New York. It's dense. Like, you think Sorry to Bother You is dense? This one just layers it on.
Well, the next war was cinema, ritual suicide.
What do you give Miss March? Oh, fun fact. The Miss March is actually a real Playboy model.
Oh,
she was
makes sense. She was hot as shit.
She was actually in Playboy.
Like, I thought that was kind of stupid but sweet, too. Like, she had stayed a good girl and paid for all of his hospital bills and shit like that. I thought that was nice.
That's fucking stupid. Oh, that
never
one guy,
fucking happened, but...
That one guy was in here. I don't know his fucking name. I'll probably look it up. But the big black guy, he's been in a few films I've seen. I think he's pretty funny. He's the security guard for...
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He's kind of got, like, bug eyes.
The big dude. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Patrice O'Neal?
No, it's not Patrice O'Neal.
I was say he's dead, bro.
You remember in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when he's sitting at the bar and the guy's like, I can name over 200 species.
Oh, yeah. He's funny.
He was in this.
Yeah, he wasn't Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, and he was also in this movie called Pet, I want to say.
He was in Harold and Kumar, too.
Was he?
The Christmas one.
I need to rewatch
Remember
that.
him and RZA are at the tree lot. I want to be the gangster this time. You're just not very intimidating, man. You're talking about I'm 6'5". He's like, yeah, but you're like,
I need to rewatch. I bought that to rewatch it. Started watching it with
I
my
own that
wife.
shit on Blu-ray, son.
I got the DVD, and we got halfway through it. Not even halfway. We got like 20 minutes in it. My wife's like, I can't do it. This is too fucking stupid. So I haven't.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely the most ridiculous of all of them. You know, and the second one goes for it. You know,
Yeah.
the first one obviously is the best because it's the best like story.
Right.
You know, a beginning and ending.
But that's the beauty about the third one is it just goes off the rails and just gets silly.
You can tell they're just having fun with it, and
Right.
they can tell that this is probably it for us. Like we're not going to be able to do this again. And even Neil Patrick Harris comes back for it, dude, which is hilarious.
Yeah. He does a great
He's
cameo in
playing
that.
the part of like I'm gay, but I'm not really gay because I crush all this pussy. You know? Which is like Barney from fucking How I Met Your Mother. Like he didn't take how he was acting in those movies and made Barney for How I Met Your Mother, bro, because like they are identical to me, man. I think it's hilarious. And to find out that he had been gay the whole time and just acting that well, like, I mean, it's kind of fucked up that he had to do that, but gave him his best character, in my opinion. Shit. But yeah, Miss March, bro, like, I don't know, man. It's probably a 4 or a 3. You know what I mean? Like, it's a funny movie to me. I throw it on like once a year.
Do you really?
Maybe.
You watch this more than once?
Actually, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I couldn't remember the last time I watched it. But like, it was one of those things where it's like, I'll pick up a movie and I'll be like, oh man, I laughed my ass off at that. I'll keep that for a rainy day.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is you pick up these movies and I see them. I'm like, man, this could actually be pretty good. Like a unknown comedy that I'm stumbling across. But every time it's just like, fuck you, Nick. Like,
You didn't like Celtic Pride was funny.
no, Celtic Pride is the exception, not the rule.
And
Because fucking
this movie's funnier than nothing, bro. You know, I was thinking about it the other day, bro, and I still think I hate that movie the most out of all the ones you've given me, bro.
Nothing.
I even like fucking Kroll more than that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Nothing a lot. I
Nothing
like that
is
director.
fucking horseshit. If I met those two Canadians, I'd punch them in their shit.
Damn.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No, but I would tell them their movie wasn't good.
Well, I just like Cube so much that, you know.
I might have to try Cube again, man. I don't think I gave it a very fair shake the first time.
I think so too. Well, Cube is half the reason.
Wait, those two guys are in Cube?
Yeah, he's the
Oh, that's why I don't like
the
him
special
so much.
needs guy is the
Special
guy
needs.
from Cube.
Oh, yeah, because you can't go outside.
I don't want to impersonate what he does because it's very, very. And then
I got you.
the guy that's in construction that worked on the Cube,
Right.
so he knows everything. That's this other guy from
Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
Yeah, him and those guys and the director were really good friends, so that's why they work together so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say other than Game of Death, this is probably the one I gave. You know.
Yeah, I couldn't think I didn't hate Vacation as much as I hated this movie.
Dude, Vacation is fucking hilarious. Bro.
Vacation has a couple of moments where it's like, ha, that was amusing. But this one had none. This one I did not laugh or chuckle or anything once. I was just like waiting for it to
That's
be
just
over.
crazy, man.
Oh, we didn't talk about the most important part of this fucking movie.
What?
Craig Robinson's character did not have a dick.
Oh yeah, he had 2 straws. It was fucked up, son.
It's so fucking stupid.
That was hilarious too, man. Matter of fact, I don't remember seeing a horse dick fuck a bitch.
Let me see your dick.
Shake him out the tracksuit.
And he had a fucking straw hanging out of his penis hole.
Ooh, that was brutal.
That was just.
I died laughing.
Oh, there was one. If it
Oh,
was,
and the fireman.
that's what I
chasing
was
him
gonna
through the
say.
whole
If
fucking
this
movie.
wasn't in this movie and it was in another comedy, that would be pretty fucking funny. Like these firemen keep chasing them, and they're like
Because her
throwing.
brother's a fireman. Yeah.
Right, and he finds out
Never
that
piss off firemen, dude.
and everywhere they go, they have like an inner fireman like connection or whatever. It's like, I think that's him from so and so, and they go after him. Like that's pretty amusing, but I hated it in this movie. Thought it was stupid
Yeah, I think.
because they drove around the car and they had fireman axes hanging out of it.
Yeah, because they threw one through the roof, the other through the door. Yeah.
I love that they when they threw them at the car. I don't know. It was pretty funny.
So I would imagine it's like a real fireman throw, man.
Yeah, but
It'd be cool if they used actual firemen for that shit.
that would have been pretty fun. We don't know that they weren't.
Some of them look like they had the mustaches for it. You know what I mean? Like you know that guy we work with. You know, my friend from work.
Yeah.
he's got a mustache like
He
that.
does, doesn't he?
He does. He has the biggest fireman mustache. It's not quite a Fu Manchu, but it's close.
So this movie, I had a rating like 1 through 10, kind of like you, but I hated this movie so much I had to up.
You wouldn't even give it a 10, bro. You wouldn't even give it a Slayer.
Nope, I'm giving it. It branched off into a new rating for me.
What, like Good Charlotte?
No, I'm giving it Saint Anger.
Really?
I'm giving it a fucking Saint Anger.
I thought that was the album.
It is an album. That's why it's getting like a whole different.
So, you know why? Because you're not going to disrespect Metallica.
No, I'm not gonna get. But Saint Anger was like.
Everybody has an off album, bro.
No,
Even Metallica
Saint Anger
fucking
like
slips
ruined my
sometimes.
childhood.
It really isn't that great.
I've tried to go back and listen to Saint Anger, and I can't do it. Like that album is so fucking bad. Like I love Metallica. Their first 4/5 albums are some of my favorite albums of all time. But Saint Anger is the worst thing that's ever happened.
I can't get past Enter Sandman, dude. Like I love this. I love that album.
Yeah, the Black Album. Yeah,
I love that album.
I mean, even
Justice for All is great, but
Load and Reload aren't even that bad of albums. Like they got some bangers, like Fuel.
yeah,
Like that song goes hard as fuck.
yeah, it is a good song.
But Saint Anger like is on a whole nother level. It's the
Well, you know, some Metallica fans feel like they don't fuck with anything Black Album past. Like they feel like that's when they sold out.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
like, I don't know, man. I feel like you gotta
There's some-
take your sounds. They're
there's-
fucking rock stars, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing this shit so long. Like you gotta let them do whatever the fuck they want.
Fuck
Like,
that. Not when they put out bullshit like Saint Anger. So Saint Anger is like the worst thing to ever happen to me in my metal journey. So
Me, I would much rather have a band like Metallica stick around for 30 years and give me some fucking good shit every now and then, but still have that catalog of greatness than somebody like U2 that's been around for 30 years and I can't stand any of their shit.
you want to talk about Iron Maiden? Name a bad not Iron Maiden album.
That's the
Wait,
thing,
you
bro,
can't.
I don't care about Iron Maiden.
You're talking about great bands that have been around that put out.
I'm not saying they're not great. I mean, they may be a great band. I've just never listened to them. They have great covers. I like that Skull guy.
You gotta listen to more Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy you an Iron Maiden album.
No, to chill out, bro. I'd probably get one for 50 cents, bro. On
Yeah,
Sunday.
if you find some Iron Maiden
if
out
I
there,
find an Iron Maiden album, I'll
pick
buy
it up and listen to
All
it.
right, I'll buy it.
But-
Any one. So you're telling me they're all that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
They even came out with one a few years ago, and it's still fucking bangs.
That's a
like,
bold statement, bro.
yeah, because that's why it's number one out of my rating system. They're the best of the best.
All right. I'll take your recommendation on that.
But yeah, this gets Saint Anger.
I'm
Saying
going to
it.
buy you a Sublime album, too. Because I don't practice Santeria.
Fuck Sublime.
Oh, my God, bro. That is so un-American.
I don't give a fuck. Sublime is culture vultures.
Culture vultures. Because there was so many white guys singing reggae rock before them, right? That's what they steal. They took Bob Marley and put
Not only that, but
little
they don't have-
cayenne pepper on that shit.
Not only that, but they don't even have talent. Like, fuck them.
What you talking about, man? Those guys are fucking influencing the culture, bro.
I don't give a fuck. I fucking hate Sublime. And I
They
don't care who
created
knows
their
it.
own subgenre. Those guys are fucking already in the Hall of
Doesn't
Fame.
make them good. Just because something is original doesn't
when you're
make
a
it good.
trendsetter, bro, when you're a fucking trailblazer, you get the credit, dog.
Oh. So they made a whole genre of terrible fucking music because nothing good comes out of like ska reggae.
And I'm really surprised to hear you say that, bro, because you are all for artistic, opinion and believing, just because it's not for A doesn't mean it's not for B.
Yeah.
And you're just shitting on that. Because there's millions of kids out there that could love that shit. There are kids out there, the millions of kids that love Sublime, but they could be all into that kind of shit.
I mean,
would imagine
reggae can be not reggae, but what am I trying to say?
reggae rock.
There's ska, basically. That's what ska is. There's one punk band, I forgot the name, but they were before Sublime. They're actually pretty good. It's kind of like ska-esque.
Mm.
I wish I could think of their fucking name right now.
But you know why we don't know who the fuck they are? Because they didn't bring them fucking bangers.
They only
Sublime did.
they only put out one album, but God, I wish I could remember who the fuck it was. But they did it good. They did it well.
How many albums has Sublime got?
Too many.
Plenty.
Don't make me say
How
it.
many platinum plaques? Plenty.
There's a bunch of terrible artists that have plenty of fucking.
I feel a little hateration in your voice. That's what I'm feeling. It's fine, bro. Like, you got bands that you love that I don't even know.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to who you are, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But there's rappers that I fucking love that you're probably, bro, I don't care about that shit at all.
Yeah, you keep trying to tell me to listen to them, and I'm just like not feeling it.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dude. Substance material in hip hop nowadays has gotten very generic, very bland. It's all about fucking bitches and making money, yada yada yada. But the hits, the old school people that I still love to this day, that I still fuck with, like Wu-Tang and Pac and Biggie, and that shit never gets old, bro.
Well, since we're on the subject, what did you think of M's new album?
I loved it.
Did you love it?
I like that kind of Eminem, man. That's what I think he needs to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool to do a song with Beyonce or Ed Sheeran or whatever for the magnitude of it. Like when he and Jay-Z did songs together or whatever, him and Wayne. Like, that's great that we get a great song out of the two of you, but I don't feel like a whole album should be like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's getting back to like just fucking spitting that venom, bro.
Yeah.
That just poison. I'm gonna fuck y'all up. Because they doubt him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He drops a fucking surprise album and goes platinum like 1 week.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's M. He's like.
I get that, and there's only like 4 or 5 guys that can still do that. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
not even that anymore. Because I used to say 50 Cent them could do it, but now like I don't even think he could.
Yeah, it's funny. I went to the gym and I always pull up Spotify to listen to something while I do my workout, and it popped up like M's new album, and I get up at 1 a.m, so that shit just dropped.
Yeah, bro.
So I listened to the whole album while I worked out.
And I love that this man's 40-something years old, and he's accomplished so much, and he blazed so many like paths for other people to get on. We wouldn't have a Post Malone, MGK, like for what he tried to take a swing at a fucking Titan, bro. He gave it his best shot.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on MGK for trying, but I think Eminem right now is getting back to why people love him.
Yeah,
you woke a beast up.
It's still not. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
Sometimes I feel like on certain shit he's trying to get too lyrical.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of just saying fuck melody, fuck hook. Like you just want people to know that I'm the best fucking person doing this right now.
Yeah, there's that one song, Godzilla, where he just spits like.
I love that song just because Juice WRLD, and he just recently passed, and I've been finding more Juice WRLD now that he's been gone. Like it sucks because he was so young and so talented, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked about it before, but I think that kid would have had a shot at being something special.
Oh, I'm sure.
If he hadn't died.
It sucks when those talent dies so young.
It's those guys come from terrible situations, you know what I mean? And some of them anyways, and what it takes to get them there, man, it's just so hard to let go of that because you feel like you ain't going to be the same. You're not going to have that hunger in you anymore.
Yeah.
So it's hard to just live good, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah.
But I like it. I think he's on the right track. I like that Darkness. I think it was a pretty cool song.
They said he was supposed to do a sequel to Slim Shady LP, and Slim Shady LP, I'll argue this shit with anybody any day of the week. That is my favorite Eminem album.
Me too. I'm right there with you. Like, I love
just
Marshall.
For raw spit, you could just hear the anger, the fucking struggle, I'm willing to do anything I can to get big, to get out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
To be accepted into this, and if you won't accept me, fuck you. I'm gonna break this shit over your head.
I can listen to that album front to back.
No song gets skipped on that fucking album.
No, not at all. I was in 6th grade. I remember this too. I heard.
I dyed my hair fucking blonde when I heard that shit, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too.
I was in the Eminem army, man. Like
I was too.
I thought him was great.
Yeah, when Slim Shady came on the radio, I was like, "What is this?" Like, I loved it, and I went to Specs in Plant City.
FYE, all that shit.
My parents didn't really care about the whole explicit content. They let me buy albums. They're like, just
good parents, man. They know like it's just music. If
right.
We raised you right. You know what's right and wrong.
Exactly. So I bought the explicit Slim Shady, and I had that shit on repeat for like years.
Yeah, I had to buy another fucking album because I burnt that bitch up, dude. I don't know if I played it that much or what, but like it stops. Certain songs stopped playing, so I had to go buy a whole nother fucking CD. And then you go over the years and you lost it. I found that shit at the flea market for $1, bro. I paid for that shit. Didn't even have the original cover. Fuck it, give me the album. It didn't have any scratches. Buying that bitch, and it's in my car right now.
I think what happened was old CD players back in the day, they didn't have that anti-skip.
Yeah.
So when you're moving around, it wobbles and it gets
and shit. Or not jukeboxes, but boomboxes and shit.
It gets scratched up a little, but.
I'm doing like if you're like most kids those around those times, like I'm sure you were, you had 5-6 CDs in your pocket. And you're thinking like, oh, like the jacket's gonna make sure it doesn't like sand doesn't get in there and scratch anything.
Oh, you're
like,
talking about like
yeah, just a handful.
No,
of
I
CDs.
didn't have
Oh,
that.
dude, I did that shit, bro.
I had a sleeve. It was like 2 CDs.
I had that
It was
too,
like a
but
folder.
when I would go
carried
out
it
for the
around.
day, when I would go off for the day, and like I didn't have a car yet, I would just take like 4 or 5 of the shit I was loving right then, and would just slide it into my jacket.
Actually, I only had one CD. Like whatever CD I was obsessed with at the time, I listened to that all day on repeat.
yeah, like I feel like I came up in the golden age of rap.
Yeah.
Not hip hop. People get that confused. Now, early
Right.
90s, mid 90s, that's the golden age of hip hop. But like later 90s, early 2000s, that's when rap was in its golden age, bro. Everybody was putting out good shit.
Yeah.
Like
I
even
agree.
people that you didn't like as a person, they still make good music. And I think that's like it'll never be like that again.
Hmm.
You know, because people hate on each other too much to get there now. But back then, when you put out a banger, you know, you ran that little bit. That was your time. Ja Rule, and he had his little bit, and then 50 and M just whenever he dropped something, that shit took over, man.
Oh, most
And
definitely.
he's still doing it now.
Yep.
But yeah, I think M is the GOAT. Like, and he gives us like not to bring race into it, man. But I've heard people say that if he was black, nobody would care. But I find that hard to believe. With some of his work, you wouldn't find as interesting,
Hmm.
But the shit he's spitting now, you'd have to respect it. If
Yeah.
anybody, if they were purple, that's some hard ass bars. Like you're gonna respect that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, do I think it's one of those like it's Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP where I can play it back to back? No, but
No, because there's a couple of songs I have to skip.
right. But there's about 4 or 5 on there that are
Yeah.
really fucking good.
Yeah.
I like the Godzilla. I like the Unaccommodating with Young Ma. Even though she's not the greatest rapper, I thought she brought her A game because she's with Eminem on that one.
Right. I just fucking hated Stepdad. Like, I hate that song.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. I didn't like that one, but there were some bangers on there.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I know you got to get going, so we'll cut it short.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy Miss March. I think you're gonna like the next pick a little more.
What are you going to give me?
Well, if you're making me watch that Sadaki, New York, or whatever, Synecdoche, New York, I don't know. I gotta take a look, but I'll post it.
Word.
I'll post the movie, or I'll have you post the movie.
All right.
All right. See you next time.
Later.